Hi guys, today is Sunday, September 27th. I just wanted to make a few announcements and also I'm going to answer some of your questions. First announcement is the Canova video contest. You have a chance to still enter it. Deadline is tomorrow, Monday, September 28th at midnight, New York time, which is Eastern time. Very simple contest to enter. You just have to make basically a funny version of one of my films, a parody, remix. You can download my films. All the links are, for where you can download the files are provided on the official contest page. And to go to the official contest page, just follow the link in the description of this video. Also over there, I'm going to post some of the entries that other people made, some really funny entries that you can sort of see for yourself, just sort of, how basically what you have to do to enter it. And like I said, it's a very simple contest to enter. You can remix my film with your own footage, or perhaps add your own sound effects, or re-edit my films, or you can completely reenact it, stuff like that. The second announcement is for the contest, the Storytelling Unleashed Filmmaking and Business Workshops. And there's also a contest going on right now. Again, follow the link which goes to the post about it on my website. It's an amazing new filmmaking workshop that's making its way around North America, Canada, and US. It's a 2-day workshop hosted by Adam Forgione, and it just gives you an amazing opportunity to upgrade your filmmaking skills. And if you guys want, there's actually a chance to enter this little contest they have right now, and you can win a pair of golden tickets for the workshop, as well as anybody who participates in the workshops. I will actually get a year subscription of Adobe Creative Cloud. So, and a few other extra goodies you get there. Anyways, for all the information, again, link in the description of this video. Okay, so now let me answer some of your questions that you guys left in my comments on my videos. First one is from Leon Lamoth. Is it really worth paying the extra just for 4K camera, even though most people don't have 4K monitors / TVs yet? And it's a comment that was left on my DJI Phantom 3 review. Yeah, personally, I think it's if you have a chance to shoot on a 4K camera, for example, or even maybe a 6 or 8K camera, having that extra resolution helps in a lot of different ways. And one of the basic ones is just allows you to zoom in and kind of get, you could say, 2 shots in one, because you can get sort of a wider focal length, and you can easily in post-production zoom in because you have the extra resolution. Also allows you to reframe the shot, so in case maybe something got in the shot that's something that you don't want it to be visible in the shot. Maybe your boom operator dropped the mic too low and it's visible just a little bit off the top of the screen. While having extra resolution, again, you can zoom in, reframe the shots, stuff like that. Also, it helps you with, for example, if you get some shots and they're a little bit shaky, especially if you're using it with like the DJI Phantom drone. Sometimes, what happens is, in my review, actually, you'll see that the horizon was a bit tilted because I did calibrate the drone, but sometimes different things as you're flying in and all that stuff, magnetic, I guess, interference, it can kind of still throw off the camera gimbal. And so what happened is the camera gimbal is slightly off. And then what you can do when you have 4K resolution is you can still punch in a little bit and kind of fix the horizon, or let's say stabilize the shots further if you wanted to, do all sorts of things like that. So definitely, if you have a chance to, to shoot on a camera, whether it's on a drone or just as your main camera, if you can get higher resolution than the actual final resolution you'll be outputting in, I would go for it. All right, next question is from Ed Amraz, filmmaker, and it's on the Glamour Shots lighting tutorial. And your tutorials are really advanced and helpful to shoot, and really amazing. Thumbs up to Tom Antos. Thank you. I haven't learned this type of tricks before. Okay, so it's not so much a question, just more of a comment. So very nice comment, like getting those from you guys. Next one is from Stendrosik. Again, I might be butchering these usernames, but bear with me. That's on my Canova contest video. So again, if you guys want, make sure you watch that video for information on how to enter the contest. After that almost silent reaction scenes, I want to check out some of Jim Carrey's movies. Somehow your actions reminded me of his performance. I guess I'm gonna take that as a compliment. If you're telling me I remind you of Jim Carrey, maybe I'm as good as Jim Carrey, although I don't think I'm quite the comedic genius that he is. Anyways, yeah, if you guys want, check out that video, the contest video, for a little example that I did of how you entered the Canova contest, and just all the rules and stuff like that. Next comment is on the unfortunate truth about YouTube and Facebook. That's actually a video I did. Wanted to let you guys know again. in case you're not getting, basically you're not being notified about all the videos that I release, and I've been putting out videos for over the last few months, like regularly, at least one video, but many times 2 or 3 videos a week. So if you guys aren't getting the notifications that I'm releasing all these videos, that means that you need to basically go into your subscription on YouTube and make sure that you're getting the email notifications or cell phone mobile notifications from my YouTube channel. You can also do that by just going to the little settings icon, which is right next to the subscribe button underneath this video or my YouTube channel, and click on that, and then click check off the get notifications for this YouTube channel. So if you guys do that, you're going to be notified each time when I upload a new video, and that's kind of what this video I did is about, kind of letting you guys know the problem with that. Facebook has a similar problem like that. You also have to tell them specifically they want to, even though you're subscribed to somebody's Facebook, like a YouTube channel or Facebook page, the Facebook or YouTube will not notify you each time there's something new happening on there. You have to still go in there and tell them that you want to actually get notifications. Otherwise, they'll just kind of randomly suggest other videos or things that are happening on Facebook or YouTube. Anyways, the comment is from Locked Down, and it's I wonder why I didn't get emails. Thanks, Tom. So yeah, as you can see, that's the reason why you're not getting the emails. Next comment is on the making of the Big Wild North short film. It's from Cool Life TV, I think. You are the best teacher so far. Very humble and honest director, producer, editor, etc. Laughing out loud. I enjoyed your teaching, but evil people will dislike such a good video. I think he's referring to the dislikes that I think pretty much every video on YouTube gets. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's so much evil people, but I think there's just a lot of people who are maybe surfing, going through YouTube late at night, and they're basically just bored. That's really what it is. I think they're bored, or maybe they're just in a bad mood, and they're kind of going through these videos, and they're, like I said, they're letting their emotion or their emotional state that they're in, and their anger kind of reflect in the way that some of the hateful comments that they leave in the videos, and then also the dislikes that they put on a video that, like I said, maybe it's a video that's not of interest to you. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad video, because there's a lot of videos on YouTube that I've seen myself that are amazing videos, but maybe just weren't, it's not something that interests me. But I'm not going to go out of my way and actually dislike it just because it's not something that's of interest to me. But like I said, there's some people who are just a little bitter and sad at that moment, and maybe they should stay away from commenting or leaving feedback on other people's work. But you know what? At the end of the day, it doesn't bother me. It is what it is. I get plenty more of you guys who do appreciate the stuff that I put up here on YouTube. So that makes it all worthwhile. And the few people who leave those really nasty comments or some dislikes and stuff like that, I just basically don't pay attention to that. So anyways, next comment is from Dean Olivia's YouTube, I guess, YT. It's on the top 10 mistakes that beginner filmmakers make. It's actually a really cool video that I had a chance to shoot recently at the YouTube Studios in New York City with another talented filmmaker, Rafi Rivero. You guys it's a really cool video. It's a little bit long. There's actually 2 versions. There's one is like a 20-minute version, and another one which is like an hour-long version. But it would kind of go through personal experience, but also experience that other filmmakers have had, especially when you're a beginner filmmaker, and the kind of biggest mistakes that people make that just, I would say, slows down their progression in their career as a filmmaker. So really, like a video, like I said, really cool, really informative video that I'm really proud of, and I'm gonna try to do more of these kind of videos, kind of sit down interview style videos with other filmmakers, so you see other people's perspective and opinion, not just my own all the time. And anyways, if you're interested in that, make sure you guys check that video out. Again, link in the description of this video. And anyways, the comment or question is, this was a really insightful video. The story of pottery is brilliant. It was funny because I've directed a feature, a school project, but a feature nonetheless. It was an enlightening experience, but now I'm starting to work on 2-3 short films every month, and I can honestly say I'm learning much more about the process that way. The best way to become a filmmaker is to make films. Great video. I hope one day destiny will allow us to get to collaborate on a project with you too. That would be great, so keep it up, just keep on making more films. It seems like you're really you're already really busy, And that is actually, yeah, that's one of the things we talked about in the video, one of many things. And that's one thing that like kind of that Rafi brought up in there, where yeah, I think to get good at anything, whether it's filmmaking or, like I said, maybe you want to be a singer, basketball player, or whatever it is, you just have to do it. You don't worry about getting that perfect film out there or a perfect script. Just it's better if instead of doing one film that you think is going to be perfect per year, do like 20. Like literally every month do a new video project, like a little short film, and do it low budget. Get family, friends involved, because if you spend that whole year making, like I said, every month, let's say at least one little short film, and at the end of the year you're gonna have a lot more experience and have a lot better quality product than if you were waiting around to make just one really, really good, big, amazing film that year. So it's just like I said, I think with anything, it's just if you want to get good at anything, it's all about experience. So the only way to get experience is to actually do the things that you want to do. So make a lot of films. So that's one of the tips that Rafi in there in that video brought up. Anyways, again, I'm going to recommend you guys go check out that video. Really cool. It's a little long, but it has a lot of good information. Okay, next comment is from Caleb Chamberlain. Well, apparently YouTube always wants me to know you've uploaded. Haha. Oh, again, it's a comment on the unfortunate truth about YouTube and Facebook. Good to know. So I guess some of you guys did click the notifications for my channel. If you haven't, make sure you do it so you don't miss my videos. Another comment again on the top 10 mistakes beginner filmmakers make. It's from Konya X. I will add number 11 mistake. Don't be convinced that you're the best director. I met people who just started filmmaking and they sounded like they were big filmmakers / directors, but their films were very bad with many mistakes. At the beginning, modesty is very important in my opinion. Yeah, I kind of agree and disagree with you. I think modesty can be, depending how you, I guess, go about modesty. Modesty, I think it can be a good thing if you're basically not just being overly arrogant, where just shoving things in people's faces, and especially putting down other people's work. Like there's some people who are so arrogant, and that they're, like I said, it's not so much about being proud of the work that you're doing, but just they're actually putting other people's work down. That's a bad thing. Now, modesty, where you're kind of maybe sometimes afraid to tell people, oh, I think I'm pretty talented, would you want to work with me, or just kind of, like I said, putting yourself out there, and showing your work off as if you are a real filmmaker. Because the truth is, once you start making films, you are a real filmmaker. And I think a lot of times modesty, or like I said, it could also be kind of shyness. That's what stops a lot of filmmakers from admitting to themselves, and then also this way to others, that, hey, I'm a filmmaker, I make films. Yeah, I might not be, I don't know, Spielberg or, Tony Scott, whatever it is, the top filmmaker, of your choice at the time. I might not be those top guys, but I'm getting there. And I have already a lot of cool things to offer as a filmmaker. So I think you gotta sort of accept and own it. You just kind of, be proud of it. But at the same time, don't be arrogant. So at the end of the day, like I said, it's modest can be good if it doesn't lead to you being shy and kind of almost afraid to show off your work and yourself as a filmmaker. But if it doesn't create those kind of barriers, then I think, yeah, it's okay. But at the same time, I would say the tip that I would say is be more proud of being a filmmaker without being a dick, basically, to other people. So. Anyways, next comment from Valimati Olian. I'm sorry, I'm horrible with pronouncing some of these names. Anyways, you guys can see it on the screen. It's on the Rode Link versus Sennheiser versus Asden on the wireless microphone kits. And the comment is, thank you for your nice review. Just wonder if someone would conduct this kind of a test inside, and if possibly in a noisy environment. I understand that this 2.4 gigahertz region contains a lot of traffic and it is sometimes very crowded. It would be nice to see how these wireless video systems can cope with that. Any comment on that? Actually, yeah, Valimati, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. There is a longer version of that video where I'm basically here inside my studio and I'm doing a review and I'm letting you hear all the different microphone kits. And I'm inside the studio where I have Wi-Fi, I have, like here Chromecast going, and I have, wireless video microphones and many other devices here going on, and which are all on 2.4 gigahertz frequency. So in a way, that is like a perfect example to show you just how well these systems cope with all this interference. Not to mention that also, there's neighbors around that I have that have all of them. I think pretty much all of us now have Wi-Fi, and there's Wi-Fi, signal obviously crosses through here. I can see the network. So there's a lot of interference up here, and you can really see then just how well or how badly the systems perform. My own experience, and as you'll see in the video, the Asden one, even though it's really affordable and it has some cool features, it's just the second, for example, you touch the antenna, it just completely, the interference is horrible. So that was one of the things that I really didn't like about the Asden one. Anyways, next comment on the cinematic lighting tutorial with the sun. Really cool, simple lighting tutorial where I just show you how to use the sun to get some really cool effects. Anyways, it's from Corey Daleen. Were you moving the camera in that shot because the subject was standing still? And how much movement is too much movement? And do you have any videos on this? Thanks for all the great tutorials. And actually, no, the reason why, like if this music video that I show as an example, or any music video if I'm doing a lot of camera movements, that's just like a stylistic kind of thing, choice. And a lot of it has to do with the music. So in that case, I didn't let you hear the actual music in that tutorial. But if you were to actually look at the finished music video, you'll see just how fast the music is. And it just really did not make sense to have just a static shot of the artist, kind of performing to the camera. So that's why I kind of moved the camera to the beat of the song. And I think it just makes the shots look a lot more lively. Also, you got to keep in mind that, again, if you watch the final music video, I cut a lot. So the shots are not, I don't stay on them for very long. So it might be like a split second where the camera moves left to right, and I cut to another shot, and I cut back to as the camera moves right to left. Like it just basically jumps up, all over the place. So that's one of the things. And how much movement is too much movement? Well, again, it just comes down to your preference. So I would say if you're doing a music video like I did, listen to the music and just see what's gonna look good. Now, obviously, the longer the lens you have, or the bigger the focal length, then the less you want to move it, because a little bit of movement is going to look like a lot. Like for example, on a 100mm lens, if you move pan the camera just like 1 degree, it's going to look like you're, the same kind of movement as if you were, let's say, on a 14mm wide angle, and you're moving it, like 90 degrees pretty much. So it all depends on the focal length, obviously you do. But at the end of the day, I would just say look in the actual LCD or the back of your camera. Make sure you're actually happy with the final product, and kind of whether it matches the music or the feel of the scene that you're doing. And no, I don't have any videos on this, but hopefully this video will provide the answer. And next comment is on the Came Mini 3-axis gimbal review. This is from Frank Kidd. Tom, question. I'm in the market to buy one of those GH4, one of those for my GH4. My question is two-part. First, having a optical image stabilization is obviously beneficial, but having a non-optical image stabilized lens, does this provide enough stabilization? Yeah, I think it does. I mean, that the examples that I show actually in that video is without optical image stabilization. I did actually have a lens that had OIS in it, but I disabled it because I wanted to show you guys just how well the gimbal works. So that's one thing, is that you don't need it, but I would say if you have it, obviously it's going to stabilize it that much more. So second question, how are you dealing with autofocus? Do you leave it turned on? Are you setting to a specific focal length and staying within that region? Yeah, that's pretty much what I'll do. Is that usually either if I know I'm going to be moving in or out a lot, and I'm just single operating the whether it's a Steadicam or a 3-axis gimbal, I'll basically, if for example, if I'm moving in and out a lot, I know I can't keep the same distance, then I'll use a really wide angle lens, because the wider or the bigger the wider the lens, or the shorter the focal length, the more things are in focus. Also, I'll close down on aperture, so I'm not going to leave the lens all the way open, so I'll go to like f8, f10, so this way almost everything's in focus, and that allows me to move in and out. But if I'm basically going and I know that, like for example, I want to get that shallow depth of field, then I'm pretty much I know that I'm gonna have to stick to the same kind of distance to my subject. So what I'll do is let's say I'll have my actor standing here, I stand on the side, position the camera already more or less at the right distance, set my focus to my actor, and then I'll basically follow the actor. And it doesn't matter whether I'm on the side, in front, or whatever, but I always try to keep more or less that same distance between the camera and the actor. So this way he always stays in focus. Now, sometimes that's easier said than done, but it just takes practice. That's really, how I handle it. Now, really the best way to do it is to have two operators and have a wireless video system and a wireless follow focus system hooked up. So you have another operator standing on the side and has a monitor, and you can see the footage exactly. And he also has the wireless follow focus, so he can kind of rock the focus with you live as you're walking around. So this way you, or whoever is operating the gimbal or the Steadicam, is only worrying about shot composition. So just making sure you're framing correctly, but you don't have to worry about focus, because there are some systems out there that will allow a single operator to basically, let's say, carry a gimbal, and then like using the trigger follow focus system from Silent Pro, I believe it is, which I've tested out and I have a review on my channel. You can use that, but I just found it's hard, especially when so many things are happening. You're trying not to trip, wherever it is that you're walking, trying to make sure you're getting good framing on your subject and all that stuff, and then still having to pull focus. It's not an easy thing to do. It can be done, but I'm just saying it's not an easy thing to do. So ideally you want to have another operator. And then what else is there? Are you just setting the infinity and just recording? Yeah, that's one of the options I said. And I'm thinking about a scenario where you're walking in a crowded market or something like that. What setting would be ideal for that versus a fixed nature type of scenario? So yeah, for that one, I think, like I said, again, two-person, two-camera operation. If you can't do that, then set your lens to infinity, use a really wide-angle lens, and just sort of hope that everything's going to be in focus. But a lot of it, that's kind of what it is. There's always limitations and advantages to going different ways. Anyways, next comment is from Jay Patel. Hey Tom, can you help me with how to think of creative stories to match the locations I have? It's kind of hard for me to write good scripts. My scripts always involve a drug lord and one agent trying to infiltrate his house and kill him. So can you help me? And that's on the using LUTs in Adobe Premiere or whatever. That's actually a new product I released. Another announcement for you guys. It's the Cinecolor LUTs. These are custom color presets, 40 of them. That will basically turn any of your video, whether you're shooting in Canon cameras, S-Log, C-Log, whatever camera it is that you're using, and you can apply these LUTs, and I have a tutorial there that shows you how you do it, and different editing applications. And the LUTs, you can get them right now for $15 on my website. And like I said, 40 different presets, it's 2 different packages of 20 each. And yeah, I think it's, has a lot of cool different looks that you can achieve very easily just by applying the LUT. So little shameless plug. But anyways, getting back to this question, can you help me think of creative stories to match the locations I have? I would say, I can't directly help you because I don't know what locations you have, but I would just say as a tip, if you're thinking of new stories, because if you're telling me all of your stories are pretty much about a drug dealer and a secret agent trying to kill him, I would say try not to be as influenced by other things or films or whatever you're seeing on TV or on the internet, because that's kind of what it sounds like. Basically, I would say sometimes it's good to just shut yourself off, turn off Facebook, turn off television, maybe, I don't know, go out of town, go camping or something, and just basically think about the locations that you do have. Maybe it's your house, maybe you have something unique that looks, something cool that looks, like I said, something unique about the house or the location that you have. Maybe there's some interesting looking tree. Maybe you can make a story about that tree. Maybe what this tree symbolizes or something like that. Maybe it's like a cool sci-fi mystery. Maybe there's something happening weird with that tree. But that's what I'm saying, is like just kind of think about what makes your locations really stand out, what makes them unique, and then build a story around that. And you're going to be surprised that to make a good story, it does not always have to have action. It does not always have to be, also even in a specific genre, like, this is an action, thriller, or this is a comedy or whatever. You can mix the different genres, and I think a lot of really good films they kind of go in between from one type of genre to another. So and that's what makes them more original. So that's why I would just say, yeah, think about the unique things that you have access to, whether it's your locations, maybe some props. You have somebody in your family has a really cool car that you can use, things like that. Maybe you have a favorite, pet animal. Sorry, maybe you have a pet, that you're really happy. Maybe it's really cute. Maybe there's a dog that does really good tricks, things like that. I don't know. It could be a million things, but just think about what it is that makes that you have that's unique from other people, and then basically usually that will kind of, at least for me, get the kind of ideas kind of flowing. So and sometimes it's not even things that maybe are personally in my house or things like that, but maybe the area where I'm staying at, maybe like if I go to visit my friends or family, let's say to Europe, and I know I'm going to be in this town and there's something cool in this city or this town that I normally wouldn't have access to, and probably the locals kind of just don't pay attention to it because they have it there every day. So go there, check out that location, think about it, and maybe you can do a quick project there. So those are the kind of things I would say think about. Is really, sometimes it's good to just unplug and stop watching other people's movies, looking on the internet, things like that, because if you do that, you're really going to kind of clear your mind and you're going to be less influenced by other people's work already. Anyways, hopefully that long answer it will help you a little bit. Next question is from Director Timothy. Hello Tomantos, thank you for the videos. I learned a lot from them. I have some questions. What camera do you use? To answer that question, I would say it depends on the project, because if you watch a bunch of my videos, you'll see that I use a lot of different cameras, and that just simply comes down to the budget and what kind of a video also I'm doing. For some productions, it makes sense for me to, maybe I have the budget for renting a big Red Epic camera, so it makes sense for me to have a big camera, and then maybe it's a type of a shoot where I don't mind wearing, or carrying around with me a big heavy camera setup with big lenses and things like that. But some budgets, for example, maybe don't allow me to get the Red Epic, or for example, maybe some budgets they allow me, but it just doesn't make sense because let's say it's a video where I'm going to do a lot of run and gun setups. Well, doing that with a big film, kind of a cinema style camera, is very difficult. So that's where I'll use like a DSLR, or even I've even used the GoPro cameras on a lot of my music videos or films. So really, I would just say, just look at each of my projects and you'll see me using different cameras, and then I pretty much always have behind the scenes for every project that I do. So watch the behind the scenes, and then there I'm going to tell you why I use that camera, not another camera. So that's one thing. Next question, do you shoot in RAW? Yeah, I shoot in RAW when I can. If I'm obviously shooting on a camera that doesn't shoot RAW, then I won't. But if I can, then I'll shoot, because RAW just simply allows you more control than to color grade the footage afterwards in post-production. Or just a compressed output from the camera. And again, some of the cameras I use is just a compressed output, so I'll use that. Do you shoot in cine-style flat profile, or do just the standard profile of the camera? I almost never shoot with the standard profiles of the camera, and you've known that if you watch my videos, like even the Sony NEX 5-hour camera review you see in there. It's a great cheap little camera, but again, to really maximize the value out of the camera and get the best image quality, I kind of create my own custom settings. And the same thing if you watch my review of the Panasonic GH4, like if you watch those videos that I've done, you'll see me always putting in custom settings, unless if the camera itself already provides a custom flat setting. Like for example, the Sony A7S, or the new camera I just reviewed, which was the Sony A7R2. That one, again, I use the S-Log basically profile, because it just provides a nice flat image profile. Okay, next one is I shot with this Canon 5D Mark III with Magic Lantern, which is converted to Canon CND, but I don't know what is log. Does it shoot in S-Log or C-Log or anything like this? How can I know? No, I mean, Magic Lantern doesn't shoot, it doesn't have a flat profile. I guess it outputs RAW files, but these are actually RAW image still files, so they're a pain in the ass to work with. I never liked using the Magic Lantern for actual serious work, not to mention the cameras a lot of times hang up, and there's just a lot of hiccups. There's some really great things about the Magic Lantern, but I personally, for an actual production where I need the camera to always work, and like I said, I need to be able to play back the footage quickly, all that stuff. That's not something that I would recommend using. But anyways, no, that camera does not shoot in S-Log. S-Log or C-Log or V-Log now for Panasonic GH4. Those are basically flat image profiles. There still will be 8-bit unless the camera allows to output, for example, or record in 10-bit. But what allows you basically to do is, instead of baking in the final contrasted image, it actually saves a very flat looking image that when you just look at it, it will look very bad. It might look like it's almost black and white, like there's not enough color in it. But because of that, it allows you then to further kind of go and tweak the image and when you're in your editing program. But like I said, you will have to adjust the colors heavily. So if you've never worked with with a log style image, like basically a flat video, then I would say first make sure you do a lot of tests and you're comfortable with color grading, because it's not the easiest thing to do. Now you can use my LUTs, which again, this is a comment that he left on my LUT tutorial. So my Cinecolor LUTs, which are again the links for that in the description of this video, only $15. You can apply those, and that will make working with log images, a lot faster. So you'll be able to take V-Log, C-Log, whatever it is, different camera profiles, and just apply my LUTs to it, and I kind of explain how you do it with different cameras, and you get some pretty good results with that. But still, I would advise you something you want to practice before you actually use any kind of a log profile for an actual paid project. All right, I don't know how many more comments I can answer, but okay, let's see if I can do this one. Postmodern filmmaking. Could you please tell me if you combine the 5-axis stabilization with a smaller pistol gimbal like the Came Singer or something, do you think it would make the footage even stabler, approximating a heavier gimbal like the Ronin M or Ronin? Thank you for answering. This is a comment on my Sony a7R II review. Yes, I mean, definitely, like I said, if you have more axes of stabilization, that always is going to make the image stable. Now, I'll to tell you, if you're using the Came Single, from what I've seen, the results with that gimbal are amazing, and it just does just as good a job as the DJI Ronin. It's just the only difference is the Came Single obviously works for smaller cameras, so it's not so much that it's not as stable, from what I've seen at least. I haven't used it myself. But for example, like if you use the Came, for example, Mini 2 version, I have that gimbal. I love using it, and again, it's a great gimbal. Produces results that are just as good as DJI Ronin. It's just the difference is it only is limited to smaller cameras, so that's the only difference. But if you're really pushing any gimbal out there to limits, there's still gonna probably sometimes see tiny little vibrations. So obviously, if you have a camera like the Sony a7R II, which has a 5-axis, stabilization built into the camera, and then that's going to help you even further. So, and then if you on top of that, I don't know, you can mount your whole gear on yet another stabilized rig or something. Obviously, the more stabilization axis you have, the more stable the footage is going to be in the end. But I don't know if it's really necessary to have use, for example, a camera like a7R II with the 5-axis stabilization and then a gimbal, because I think if you have a good gimbal, then you can use pretty much any camera on there. All right, so anyways, that's it for answering your comments. And again, like I said, just a kind of quick recap, Canova video contest, you can still enter by the end of tomorrow. A link is with all the information in the description of this video. The Unleash the Inner Filmmaker, filmmaking workshop with Adam Forgione. Again, you guys can win free tickets to that, along with 1-year subscription to Adobe Creative Cloud and a few other things. Again, information in the description of this video. And the final, and probably the biggest announcement, is the birth of my son. As you guys can see, he's very excited. I just literally took him out of his crib right now. So he's not in the mood to be on camera. He's living the life, basically. He's just eating and pooping and sleeping. Pretty much that's his life right now. Wish I could join him sometimes, but yeah, don't be surprised if you guys start seeing a lot more baby-related videos on my YouTube channel, whether it's a film starring my son, or just some content more for kids and stuff like that. Definitely having a child changes you. So, like I said, that's the biggest announcement and the biggest event in my life, I think, right now. So, anyways, that's it for today.